Asad Rehman from who is the director of Friends of the Earth. So Asad, over to you to complete the panel of esteemed speakers, and then we'll move swiftly on to hear from Rajiv finally.
Yeah, thank you, Pete, and yeah, just to echo the amazing contributions of such a panel of distinguished speakers. My name is Asad Rehman. I'm the Chief Executive President of the UK's largest environmental justice organisation. And for over 50 years, Friends of the Earth has defended both the right to protest and the integrity of our justice system, because we've always understood that the fight for environmental, social, economic, and racial justice depends on our ability to be able to organise, to dissent, and to hold power to account. And on a personal note, I've spent nearly 45 years campaigning for a fairer, greener, and more just world. And central to my political journey was working at New Monitoring Project, where communities came together to challenge racist violence, police brutality, and the far right across East London. And it was there that I first met Rajiv Menon. For more than 4 decades, Rajiv has remained unwavering in that simple principle that everyone, however unpopular or powerless, deserves fearless representation. And be it from the streets of East London to the highest courts in the land, his commitment to truth and justice and to advocate for those at the sharp end of injustice has never faltered. But we're here today because of what is at stake is, of course, far greater than the case of one exceptional barrister. And it's why Rajiv's case can't be seen in isolation. Over the last decade, as we've heard, we've seen an unprecedented assault on civil and political rights, the right to protest under attack, peaceful campaigners receiving extraordinary prison sentences, climate activists, anti-racist campaigners, and now pro-Palestinian activists have increasingly found themselves facing powers once reserved for the most exceptional circumstances. Today, anti-terror legislation is being deployed against people using non-violent direct action to oppose Israel's genocide and our government's complicity with it. And at the same time, the cornerstone and one of the oldest democratic safeguards in our legal system, jury trials, is under attack. This should concern everyone. Juries exist so that justice is not simply the mechanical exercise of state power. Independent advocates exist so that every person receives fearless representation. And protests exist because every democratic advance, from the votes for women, trade union rights, to civil rights, to environmental protection, was won because ordinary people came together to challenge unjust laws. And outside Parliament, of course, it's the greatest hypocrisy that we erase statues to celebrate people, whether it's from the anti-apartheid struggle, the anti-colonial struggle, or the struggle for the rights of women to vote, who, if they were alive today, would be in the docks and prison cells alongside those who have followed in their footsteps. And of course, this is not unique to Britain. And across the world, authoritarian politics is on the rise, and the far right, from the United States to India, from Hungary to Israel. And we've seen the same playbook: restrict democracy, attack rights, weaken safeguards, including attacking the independence of the justice system, including criminalising lawyers. The UN Special Rapporteurs have repeatedly warned that the UK's restrictions on protests, on policing powers and criminal sanctions risk breaching international human rights obligations. Civicus has downgraded the UK's civic space to that of Orban's Hungary, and international human rights organisations have warned of the chilling effect that these measures are having, whether it be on the freedom of expression, peaceful assembly, and political participation. And history teaches us that rights are rarely abolished overnight. They are eroded piece by piece, one protest law, one exceptional prosecution, one restriction on legal defence, until what was once seemed unthinkable becomes routine. And that's why Rajiv's case really matters, because if lawyers can't defend fearlessly, justice is diminished. And if juries cannot exercise independent judgment, democracy is weakened. And if peaceful protest is treated as extremism or terrorism, then democracy itself is placed in jeopardy. So we defend Rajiv Menon, not simply because he is a dear friend or a valued colleague, but because this is an unprecedented attack on all of our rights. That's why we defend the independence of the illegal profession. It's why we defend the right to protest, because democracy cannot survive without dissent. And we cannot defend the trial by juries because justice, without defending trial by jury, because justice belongs to the people, not simply to the state. And we defend civic space because without it, there can be no meaningful democracy. The struggle for justice, racial justice, Palestinian rights are not separate struggles. They're united by a single principle that ordinary people have the right and responsibility to challenge injustice. And that is a principle that has always frightened authoritarians, and it must continue to inspire all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Asad.